there are two different models, SAP. One is people finish their undergrad at 2021 and they jump into IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta. And the other model says that you work for 3 to 4 years, start looking at international MBA programs. How would you compare these two models, SAP? How would you compare it, an Indian MBA with an international MBA, and the one that comes with the work experience versus the one that says, hey, um, you're done with your education by the time you're 23, ready to be shipped and do whatever you want to do in the world. How are these two different?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I was very fortunate to, have like I am in calls and ISB, I've had admits for them, and international MBA. So I was able to kind of look at both. The thing about IMs, if you have work experience, it's a hard place to go because the people it's still in their school education. They have no real life experience. So you're not going to learn anything from them, to be honest. Whatever they will tell you is the bookish knowledge and understanding the concept. And in many ways, and things are changing. Business school education in India has changed tremendously, when we were applying in 2005 to now 2020, right? The exposure is very different. When I was in college, like there was no McKinsey hiring, BCG, BCG wasn't even there, I believe, in 2002, 2003. So it's a very different world from when we were in undergrad to now. So that my experience is colored by that. But it's they produce analysts. So they are really good analysts to get into companies. So even when BCG or McKinsey hires, to be honest, they don't hire at the associate level, which is consultant level, which is post MBA. They hire in a one level lower than a post MBA, then we call them junior associates. So that's how the IM kind of hiring process. I think it is a good way to kind of learn and get into a business education if that's your to get a stamp. The thing is, what I learned through discussions and learning from which is the International MBA provides, is that work experience and those discussions has so much richness in learning, because to be honest, you don't learn from the books. You remember business school, right? You learn from the discussions and to what people can bring from their experiences. And that also stays in your mind, and which you can refer, I can sometimes refer back to some of our conversations and through the cases and say, okay, I remember, this problem, and it has stayed in my mind. If you now ask me a concept like verbatim, I have no idea. And that's the thing. And a lot of times in Indian education is about learning concepts and then saying it out loud rather than taking a step back and applying. And US education or international MBA is all about application. It's not about how fast you can calculate a certain thing or on the paper. And trust me, it's important, but automation is going to take care of those things. The person who will be successful in this new age of work is a person who can think differently at certain things, can look at data differently, can come up with new ideas, because our AI or the machine learning of the world has not figured out how to create better ideas. It's more into the world of take a certain kind of process and then make it replicable, which is always better than a human in many cases. So that kind of a skill set is, I feel like in Indian MBAs is still not there, because it's all about competition and even the selection process, right? I remember at that time we didn't have so many IMs, but it was like 250,000 people would take the test, and then 5,000 people will get, I remember I was like 99.1 percentile on that test. Who cares at the moment? In the international MBA, it is more about knowing the person and then trying to gauge, are you going to be a good fit into the classroom? I don't think through the GD interview process they were gauging my fit into the classroom. They were thinking, okay, can this person get a job and my numbers can look good? Because that is how your recruiting process is also developed, right? 0 day, minus 1 day, 1 day, 2 day, and you are forced into, you can only select 5 no one made our restriction like restriction. I remember there were a couple of classmates who had investment banking offers, consulting offers, Google offers, and then they were thinking, what is my right fit? And then taking that job. And that is great for even companies, because you don't want that person who comes in. Like, I remember friends who had Goldman and Lehman. I was in a consulting firm. A lot of my friends were in IM, and they didn't know what part of Goldman they were going to. They did not know it was investment banking, equity research, wealth management, and can you imagine a US like you don't know what your job entails? That was the case, and then they through their training process, then they were slotted into. Some people went into equity research, some people went to investment banking, some people went to fixed income. That kind of naivety is never there in United States, because you're applying for, even at Goldman, the wealth management position. You're applying for the investment banking position, the fixed income desk, which I don't know if it exists anymore. But I'm just saying that that's kind of how it is. So there is a huge difference, and you need to have that mindset that through your business school process and international MBA, you're going to learn about the business. Just saying I want to work for Goldman, it's great, but you're not going to get that through international MBA.